I got them two tracks.
Guys, what's going on? Rhubarb Stu here, back with episode 4 of How to Play Critical Ops, this time covering shotguns. Now, it's been pretty hard to make this video because of the way, just the uniqueness of shotguns and how they're very different from every other weapon in the game. And because of that, I've had to change a couple of things with the format of this video. Now, first off, shotguns are very situational. You use them at close ranges, only close ranges. I mean, I have some spectacular clips of just the stupidest headshots before the nerf, but especially after the nerf in 0.3.7, which you can check out in this corner. You'll see that they've been nerfed a lot, especially towards range, and trying to center them more around close quarters combat instead of the stupid auto shotgun fires better than an AK across Amsterdam. Also, shotguns fire in a much more unique way than other guns. All guns have an inaccuracy factor while moving or jumping or just shooting. You're going to notice that with the dynamic crosshair, the crosshair expands and the bullet will fire somewhere in that range. With a shotgun, there's an extra level of randomness that's added because each shotgun fires X number of pellets per shot. So when crouching and standing still, you'll notice that the gun is not 100% accurate. Well, actually it is. All the pellets will fire within that area. However, when jumping, running, moving, strafing, that sort of thing, you're going to notice that the crosshair expands more. Now, the pellets aren't going to go everywhere. You won't have one on the far left, on the far right, but rather the small circle where the pellets can go will be randomized within the first bigger circle, and then the pellets inside the smaller circle will be randomized. The point I'm trying to make is that the randomness of shotguns, A, makes it hard to test for damage, so I had to just use developer notes for patches, and second, make damage really not matter that much, since you're almost never going to hit exactly just one hitbox or something, the same way you can with an assault rifle or a pistol, or even an SMG. So, sorry in advance if this isn't as accurate as you'd like, but I've tried to cover it in as much depth and gone more into playstyles with this how-to guide. Now, shotguns are a little bit weird, since there are only two and they're not very different. Both guns are fed with individual shells, holding a maximum of 8 shells, and with 24 backup. However, unlike a lot of other guns which have shotguns that are fed in a similar way, you can't cancel reload animations by shooting. However, you can switch your knife and back to the weapon. And because you don't have to reload the weapon all the way like, say, an AK, it actually makes it a little bit useful. Especially when you only have one enemy to engage, canceling the animation will save you precious time. Both shotguns deal similar amounts of damage, with the cheaper actually dealing more. However, it has a very slow rate of fire, and really that was the main difference, the prices and the rates of fire. But those very, very strongly dictate when and where you should use the shotguns, which I'm going to talk about. The FP6 is the cheaper of the shotguns, coming in at only $1,100, making it a very good eco or anti-eco weapon. It functions well against armored opponents and non-armored opponents, with around 50 to 60% armor penetration. However, it doesn't really matter. Like I mentioned before, the raw damage and the range are going to dictate how effective this gun is. And it's pretty effective. It'll be at around a one-shot kill at a close range against non-armored or armored opponents. However, the main limiting factor is its inaccuracy, its range, and its very slow fire rate. The price point of this gun makes it kind of a exchange weapon, similar to the CZ75 in CSGO. You kill an enemy, take their weapon. That's why this gun has probably a slow fire rate, but a one-hit kill. You kill the enemy, you pick up their AK, you run away. And this makes it good on ecos and anti-ecos. Well, ecos if you have the money to spare. To counteract the slow fire rate, strafe left and right from cover and then shoot while you're out. This means that you'll have cover while you're waiting to fire your next shot, but also give you an escape route when you need it, since this gun cannot hold off rushes at all. The fire rate is just simply too slow. Moving on, speaking of fire rate, let's move on to the other shotgun, the Super 90, not to be confused with the P90. Now, the Super 90 makes up with what the FP6 lacks, fire rate. It's got a much higher fire rate, meaning that you can hold off a large wave of individuals coming into your face at close quarters. The one big problem that the other shotgun seems to face. Well, there's a catch. Of course there's a catch. This gun costs $2,600, which is way too much, in my opinion, for this gun. It used to be very strong, and $2,600 was nowhere near enough, but after the recent nerfs, and playing around with it, I found that A, I couldn't find really good gameplay, and B, it was just too damn expensive to really seem viable. The big problem is that it just doesn't make sense. See, here's the thing. Shotguns, especially after the nerf, serve a very good kill the person and pick up their gun. I mean, that's what the FP6 seems to make sense, and it does it very well. However, the Super 90 represents such a significant investment that dropping this weapon for another weapon just doesn't make sense. You've spent $2,600, and because of this, that's why it's ineffective. Now, I understand. The mechanics of the gun, it's not bad mechanically, but the price is just a little bit too much for me to go, wow, this is a good weapon to buy. However, I can see where it's viable. I myself, I like to play really close angles with the shotgun, one without a viable escape route, and when the enemies come around, you just mow down all of them. You don't have to worry about getting one and then backing out, which you do have to do with the FP6, and I can definitely see situations where it makes sense, strategically. But the FP6 has such a better price tag, it just doesn't make sense to me. So to recap. The FP6 is a good eco or anti-eco weapon, since it deals pretty good damage up close to both armored and non-armored opponents, but what it does best is taking other people's weapons. Play close quarter angles, but make sure you have a good escape route or somewhere else you can take cover while waiting to either reload or take your next shot. The auto shotgun, the Super 90, I keep calling it the auto shotgun, I'm so bad at this. The Super 90 is still a very effective weapon, but not cost efficient. Not even vaguely cost efficient. You can still buy it, but be prepared to be very limited. I'd recommend with both shotguns buying a strong secondary pistol that works better at long range, because you're definitely going to need it, especially with the range nerfs. The Super 90, you can play close angles without an escape route, since you just have that extra fire rate to back you up when you need it. However, with both shotguns, you have to make every shot count, or else you're going to be screwed. Anyways, I know, kind of a very general video. Sorry about that, guys, if you didn't like it. But if you did, let me know in the comments, and let me know what you guys want me to do next. I mean, the next video is going to be Sniper, since that's the only one I haven't covered yet in guns, and I'll move on to some more, I guess, theoretical stuff. Ooh, I don't even know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rhubarb Stew. Keep on cooking.
I got the future.